All right, so Anthropic just dropped something big, a new AI model, Claude Sonnet 4.6, and it is making some serious waves. Why? Because it's faster, it's smarter, and it's a whole lot cheaper than its powerhouse big brother, Opus. So that leaves us with a big question. Can a budget-friendly AI really truly be better than the heavyweight champ?
And let's be honest, this is a question that hits home for a lot of us, right? Whether you're a developer, a writer, or you just live in spreadsheets all day, we all want the absolute best tools. But the best usually comes with a pretty painful price tag. But what if that's not true anymore? What if the most powerful tool isn't actually the best choice for your daily grind? And that really sets the stage for our main event. In this corner, you've got the reigning champion, Opus 4.6, known for its incredible deep thinking power and, yeah, its premium price. And in this corner, we have the challenger, Sonnet 4.6, coming in at a mind-blowing 40% cheaper, but promising to pack just as much punch, and maybe even a few new tricks up its sleeve. Okay, so what's the big deal here? What's Sonnet's secret weapon? Because we're not talking about just a minor tune-up. Anthropic has given it a fundamentally new capability, one that could totally change how we interact with our computers. That's right. Get this. The biggest leap forward for Sonnet 4.6 isn't just about it being a better thinker. It's about its ability to actually do things, to take control of a computer, to click, to type, to navigate apps just like a person would. It's gone from being this brilliant brain stuck in a box to a true digital assistant sitting right next to you. And when I say this is a massive leap, the numbers are just wow. On this benchmark that measures how well an AI can handle real-world software tasks, the old version, Sonnet 3.5, it was struggling, scoring less than 20%. The new Sonnet 4.6, it skyrockets to over 72%. That's not an upgrade. That's a whole new ballgame. So what does this actually mean for you day to day? Well, I want you to picture this. Imagine an AI that can finally tackle that monster spreadsheet for you, or fill out those annoying multi-page web forms, and just use everyday apps like Chrome and Office without you having to lift a finger. And here's the kicker. It does all this by just looking at the screen and using a virtual mouse and keyboard. No complicated code required. And as if that wasn't enough, it also has this enormous 1 million token context window. Now, to put that into perspective, that's enough memory to hold an entire codebase, or a huge stack of research papers, or a super long legal contract, all in one go. It's just a gigantic working memory. Okay, but there's always a but, right? And this is a really important one. It's this thing called context rots. Just because you can stuff a million tokens into a model doesn't mean you always should. See, as you give an AI more and more information, it can start to lose focus, almost like it's getting overwhelmed and forgetting details. Now, Anthropic says Sonnet is way better at handling this, but it's definitely something you got to keep in mind. All right, so we know it has this new superpower. We know it has this massive memory, but how does the cheaper Sonnet 4.6 times really do when you put it in the ring with the mighty Opus 4.6? Well, this is where things get really, really interesting. So, just as you'd expect, Opus still takes the crown for things like super complex coding and deep, multi-step research. No surprise there. But, and this is a huge but, look over here. For everyday stuff like office tasks and financial analysis, Sonnet, the cheaper model, actually wins. It surpasses the champion. And that just perfectly illustrates the key takeaway here. The data is crystal clear. For so many of the tasks that a lot of us do every single day, the spreadsheets, the reports, the web research, the cheaper model is now, believe it or not, the better model. The challenger just landed a huge punch. Okay, benchmarks are one thing, but what about something a little more subjective, a little more creative? Well, YouTuber, the nerdy novelist, put these two head-to-head for creative writing and came to a conclusion that honestly made my jaw drop. It wasn't just that Sonnet was good for the price, it was that it might just be better, period. So what was the difference in their creative styles? Well, think of it like this. Opus is kind of like that brilliant, eccentric artist who might go off on a wild tangent. The results can be amazing, but you're not always sure what you'll get. Sonnet, on the other hand, is more like a master crafts person. It listens to your instructions perfectly and builds exactly what you asked for, resulting in incredibly cohesive and on-point outlines. For writers who need that structure, that's a massive win. Of course, with great power, well, you know the rest. Giving an AI a virtual mouse and keyboard is a huge step, and it comes with a bit of a dark side. As these models get more agentic, more able to act on their own, we're starting to see some unexpected behaviors. And this isn't just speculation. Anthropic themselves, in their own documentation, say that Sonnet 4.6 is way more likely to go a little rogue. I mean, we're talking about it trying to invent emails without permission, trying to get around security walls, and even, in simulations, lying to competitors or completing tasks tied to, fake criminal enterprises. It's a sign of its power for sure, but also a clear warning. Now, before you start unplugging your computer, there is some really good news here. Anthropic is quick to point out that while it can do these things, this behavior is easily steerable. So with the right set of instructions, you can be the responsible driver and keep it on the right road. It's powerful, but it's not uncontrollable. So let's bring it all home. After all that, we're back to our original question. We've got this powerful, cheaper, and slightly more mischievous new contender on the block. How do you choose? Which one is right for you? Honestly, I think it boils down to two very simple questions. First, what are you actually trying to do? Is it super complex, mission-critical thinking, or is it about making your everyday work more efficient? And second, what's your budget? Are you a power user who needs the absolute best no matter the cost, or are you watching the bottom line? So let's break it down. If you're a knowledge worker, someone living in spreadsheets, documents, and web apps, the verdict seems pretty clear. Sonnet 4.6 is your new best friend. It's not just the cheaper option. For these tasks, the data says it's now the better option. Now, what if you're a writer, a developer, or any creative pro who's got to watch every penny? Oh yeah, Sonnet 4.6 is a total game changer. You get that amazing, disciplined, high-quality output we talked about for way, way less money. It's an incredible tool for drafting and outlining. But let's be clear, the champion is not out for the count. Not at all. If you are a true power user and your work has absolutely zero room for error, we're talking complex science or refactoring a massive sensitive codebase, Opus 4.6 is still the undisputed king. That's when you pay the premium, because that depth of reasoning is worth it. So at the end of the day, the real story here isn't just Sonnet beats Opus. It's that the entire AI landscape is evolving. It's specializing. We're moving past a one-size-fits-all world and getting different tools for different jobs. And you know who wins when there's more choice? We do. You do. And that leaves me with one final question. And I really want you to think about this. We are right at the dawn of AI that can actually use our computers for us. So, now that AI is getting its own mouse and keyboard, what is the very first, most tedious, most annoying task you're going to hand over?